Hi, my name's Julia and I'm also known as a single mum entrepreneur. And the purpose of my channel is really to help people to make money online. Now, one of the ways I'm going to show you today is something which anybody can actually get started with. It doesn't require any particular special skills. It doesn't require any special particular design skills. So make sure you stay all the way to the end of the video because otherwise you won't do anything wrong and it won't work. But this is actually a way that you can make sort of anything from $30 an hour upwards just by doing some very, very simple steps. So what I'm going to do first is just show you where to get started. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make money colorizing images. It's obviously very popular. People have a lot of black and white photos, or maybe they take black and white photos and then want to have them in color, for example. So this is a great little way for you to make some money without necessarily having to, take a part-time job, which is going to take you away from the home, etc. But as a single mum, I'm always looking for ways to have flexibility in my working life and looking for things that are relatively straightforward to do, but can then earn you a bit of extra money. So what I'm going to do first of all is just take you to this site here that's called pexels.com. So you go to pexels.com here. And what we need to do first and foremost is we need to search for some black and white images that we're then going to change into color photos or color images. Now, bear in mind, I did say just do stay to the end because otherwise it won't make sense at all as to why we're doing this. So as I said, you won't need any particular design skills. It's something that can be done, very simply even in your spare time. So let's get going. So what you have to do is go to this site here called pexels.com. And Pexels, I've used Pexels quite a lot in my business life. I used to run a video marketing agency, and if I was creating videos with stock photos, rather than always use paid for stock photos, you could get free stock photos here that are made by very talented creators. So here we go. So if you go to pexels.com, you don't necessarily need to set up. I do actually have an account here anyway, but all you need to do is to search for free images. So I recently just checked to see what I could find. So as you can see, we've got some black and white images. So if you just search for black and white photos, or even if you just put black and white in here, but if we just put photos, let's just see what comes up. Black and white photos. Let's see what it's going to find. Okay, so here we go. So some of them aren't quite black and white, but that's okay. But as you can see here, we've got some black and white photos. Now some of these are very kind of old photos, but here you go. You can just kind of scroll down. Lots of different images. So this is just to give you an idea, because this is just to show you the process of what we need to do in order to get these black and white photos colorized. So okay, so all we need to do is just go and choose a photo and get started. So let's have a look. So let's just take a fairly straightforward photo. Let's find that's a pretty one with lots of beautiful detail on it. Really doesn't matter. So let's just go here. Let's just take this photo. So as you can see on Pexels, there are people who are always creating photos. And what I used to do when I was doing my video marketing was that sometimes if I was using particular photos of a particular artist or photographer, then I could give credit for those photos being used. If they're going on YouTube, especially, if they're going to be public, it's always nice to give some credit of where that photo came from. And often you can then share a link back to the creator. You can actually share that if the video is going on YouTube. So anyway, so then we just go to free download. So let's just go to free download, because as you see it says say thanks to Daria, so you can go and or you can maybe find their Instagram account and post and say that. But we don't have to do this now because this is just for the purpose of just getting a black and white photo just to show the process. So I've downloaded the black and white photo there. So then what I'm going to do is work out how I'm going to colorize it. So let's just skip over to where I need to colorize it. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is go to Colourise SG, and notice how it's, and just take note of the spelling because it's the British English spelling with the colour spelled with OU and with an S and not a Z. So if you go to Colourise SG, this is a great application for basically just colorizing your black and white photos. And what you need to do is just go to Try It Yourself. And then this is where you upload a black and white photo. So you make sure you do the capture here, which I've just done. So then you just select a photo. So then you just need to now just go to the one that I've downloaded before. So let's just have a little look. So, oh, it's just taking a little while to load. Okay, so it was this one here, wasn't it? So just click on open. It does take a little bit of some time because I've been using this and it was actually taking a little while. Okay, so I just need to do my verification again. Okay, so here we go. So it's actually got my photo here. There you see. So now it's completed the colorization of the photo, and you can see the difference, obviously, between. So there you go. So that's it in black and white. And that's it colorized. Now, obviously, you know, when you're doing this colorization technique, I mean, you're not using an advanced application such as Photoshop, for example. You know, this is not something that requires a high amount of skill and Photoshop editing and image you know, kind of alteration sort of skills. But what we're looking for here, we're not necessarily looking for something which is going to take us, you know, on a really steep learning curve in order to try and make some extra money. We're just looking for something which is, you know, relatively easy to start doing. So, you know, it's actually a great tool when you look at it like that. So yeah, so we've got our image now, which is fantastic. So what we can do, if we say, okay, I'm not too sure about that one, but we can then download the results, and then that will actually download the new image into our download folder. Okay, so let's then move on to the next step once we've done the colorization of our photo. And here you can just imagine that this is maybe somebody who comes to you and wants this done as a service. So the whole point of this is to kind of say, okay, I'm going to offer this colorization as a sort of a low cost service. But if I can do it in volume, then obviously the money is going to kind of stack up quite quickly. So yeah, so let's just move on to the next part of the video. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to this Fiverr. Now, I have spoken about this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to this freelancing site called Fiverr. Now, this is one that I've used a lot for purchasing services. It's a freelancing website. There are a massive amount of services that can be sold as gigs, as they call them on here, and also bought as well if you have projects and you're looking to buy services. Now, Fiverr's not the only. Fiverr's been around for a long time, and I would say that it is probably quite saturated now. But that doesn't mean to say that you still can't make money from it. So because, you know, once you pick up a few projects or a few gigs, and start getting some you know, some good reviews, then you can start adding other services, and you can really kind of start building kind of a nice side hustle or even a full-time business if you're working on this all the time. So there are other platforms. One is there's freelancer.com, there's Upwork, there's one which I use specifically in the UK, but it does cover the globe. It's people per hour, so it probably really pays to just kind of check out some of these platforms and see what people are selling these different kinds of design and graphic services for. And I mean, who knows, this may well be something that helps launch a kind of a graphic design career for you, or it could just be something that makes some extra money on the side. So if we go to Fiverr, I have an account here. I'm not logged in as a seller here, I'm logged in as a buyer, but all we're going to do is we're just going to look at the kinds of services that you can get. So so recently I was just checking this out because I think this is a very, very interesting way to make some money. So if you go to Colourise black and white photo, so here you go. So you have here, I mean, it looks almost exactly the same. I mean, yes, there are 4,000 services here available. And that's what I mean about Fiverr being a very kind of full platform. But if you check out some of the other sites, I mean, it actually pays to post your service on all of these different sites to maximize your chances. So like I said, there's one called freelancer.com. There's Upwork is another one, and there's also People Per Hour, and those are the main ones. There may be others around, but you can certainly have a look. But Fiverr is amongst those four, it's the one that's probably been around the longest, and is a really popular platform. So if you go here now, you see, for example, this person here is saying they'll do restoration as well. So we need to have a little look as to what restoration really means. I mean, we don't want to go into too much of fixing images because that's not the skill set that we're trying to kind of market here. That person says they'll realistically colorize your black and white photo, starting at £4.23. That person here, like I said, it's £25. This person here is quite interesting because they've let's just take a look at them. They're a level 2 seller, so they're not a new seller. They're a level 2 seller, so they will have a decent amount of reviews, and they've got some orders in the queue. So my advice is just kind of go through and have a little look at what people are providing. This person works with multiple layers, and they have 3 different packages. They don't do any repair or fixing. That's a dedicated gig for restoration. So of course we're not actually providing restoration services on photos at the moment, so that's fine. But if you go here, they have a colorization package 1, so 1 person in the image. And then up to 3 person, and then premium is like a group of people or landscapes. So you see, they've based it on actually how many people are in the image. If we go back to our original image that we had, we just had 1 person. But if you think of how quickly we managed to do that 1 colorization, then you can imagine how quickly you can actually get these done, and that the income, even though each individual gig is only paying in this, it's £4. It's not in dollars here for me because I'm in the UK. This guy just has his profile set up, response time in an hour. He says, send me your pictures and let me work my magic. Now, like I said, he does have restoration, but you see, I've also seen other people on here on Fiverr who are using this same kind of image. So bearing in mind, I mean, what you can do, there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking some of those images that you've colorized that were on Pexels and just putting them, giving people examples of what you can do, just even if it's just a couple of images. So that's the kind of thing that you can do. If you just want to look at those other sites that I suggested, and like I said, I would genuinely get registered on all of these sites. So we already had Fiverr. I would say definitely go to Upwork. Then we've also got freelancer.com, and obviously then you can just go to earn money freelancing and just go through the process to get started. And then the other one is People Per Hour, and People Per Hour, there you go, start as a freelancer. You can become a freelancer. And then you just have to, so want to work as a freelancer, then you just sign up. And I would definitely recommend just signing up, having a little look at what people are doing, what people are charging, and get yourself on all these platforms. And before you know it, you will actually start building up a bit of a portfolio. And like I said as well, if you use Pexels and use some of those images, just colorize them and put them on there. And put them on these websites, and as soon as you start building up more sort of reviews and so on, then your business will start to grow. So don't forget, all you need to do is go to colorize.sg to get started with practicing on colorizing your black and white photos and to build up a few little pictures to put in your portfolio. I think this is a great way to make some extra money. And also to kind of get yourself launched into the world of entrepreneurship. I really strongly recommend you actually, do start doing something And the greatest mistake is actually to not take action. When you learn something, is to not take some action every day, because then you're never going to make money and you're never going to be a success if you don't actually take the action. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it valuable. Please do give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content coming soon on ways to make money online. There's a link to Fiverr where you can sign up for an account, link in the description, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks very much for watching.